Hi there guys, welcome down to episode 3 in which we're helping landlords prepare for the changes in the Renters' Right Act and the May deadline coming up. We've got 10 episodes coming out over the next few weeks in which we are updating landlords on how best to get prepared. So, Paul, we spoke about Section 21s on the last episode.
We did.
And we alluded to the use of Section 8s.
Yes.
What are Section 8s?
So, probably most landlords aren't aware of Section 8 because Section 8 is generally, at the moment, dealt with by solicitors in the event there have been rent arrears claims when they're issued under grounds 8, 10 and 11. But Section 8 essentially is a notice that is sent to the tenant advising the tenants of the grounds under Schedule 2 of the Housing Act that the landlord is looking to refer to enable them to secure possession. So at the moment there are 17 different grounds.
Okay.
The Renters' Rights Act has increased that to 36, I believe, 36 different grounds. There's still a combination of mandatory and discretionary.
Yeah.
So if they're mandatory grounds, then the judge is required to give you possession as long as everything's been carried out correctly.
Yeah.
If it's discretionary, then obviously the judge has the discretion.
Yeah.
Now, the difference being is that this would be the only avenue for landlords to secure possession. Okay, so there'll be grounds on there for tenant breaches.
Yep.
So non-payment of rent.
Yep.
Antisocial behaviour, I believe, is a big one as well.
Yeah. That was a new one they put in.
That was the
wasn't
new
it?
one that they put in, yeah, exactly. But then there's also introduced grounds for things like landlords who want to sell their property.
Yep.
Which I believe is going to be a big one, and obviously is a big concern for landlords because historically they've used Section 21. Now they can use ground 1A to secure possession. The key thing with these is to understand the notice periods.
Yeah, they've been elongated. haven't
They have, absolutely, yeah. In some cases they've doubled. Understanding the notice period of the Section 8. So currently the Section 8, which is the notice that goes first to say these are the grounds we're going to use. That's gone from 2 weeks to 4 weeks. After which the grounds will then have a notice period. So for instance, Section 1A is 4 months, which is the recovery of possession for selling the property. So the key thing for landlords now is, and agents, we've always had in this mind, 2 months notice to get possession of your property. Right, you need to forget that, and we need to look at the schedule of the grounds. And again, we talk about getting possession of the property. Landlords need to be thinking about, it's going to take me 4 months to get possession of my property. If I want to sell it, is the market going to change in those 4 months?
There's also other things to note, obviously, with a Section 8 and getting them out for the purpose of selling.
Yes.
There is elements to it where you can't then relet it once that tenant moves out for a 12-month period. So you have got to be, as a landlord, very sure that you are going to sell it, basically.
Yes.
So I think there's going to be quite a bit of testing the market before serving notice to ascertain interest. But it's what comes first, as always, the chicken or the egg as such on that front, isn't it, Paul?
It's landlords can still put the property on the market with the tenant in situ. That they can sell it off market, they can sell it to another investor, they can then sell it to a private buyer. But the key thing is, you won't be able to get possession until that notice has been served. So it's going to be a bit of a timescale admin issue for landlords, isn't it? Trying to think about, right, what's the right way of doing this? It's not quite sure how a landlord then evidence that they've secured possession in order to sell the property, whether or not the the judges will be asking for signed terms with a local estate agent, showing that that's
the
confirming that's the reason
yeah.
for possession. Which means if you sign terms as an estate agent, then you're putting the property on the market. It will be a case of, we'll just see how it pans out. But yeah, essentially there's lots and lots of grounds, and one of the key things you see a lot of is Section 21's going, mandatory possession notices going, and that was the fear, wasn't it? Back in when it was the Renters Reform Act. That's what scared a hell of a lot of landlords. But what we're trying to make clear is that there are definitely other avenues in which you can get possession. It just means now it's just not one notice, it's one of 36.
Yeah, if you've got a legitimate reason to get the property back, you will be able to get the property back. It's not like it's a Rent Act tenancy in which they've got security of
Oh,
tenure
God,
for
no.
life
No,
or anything
no,
like
no,
that.
no.
So there's plenty of scaremongering out there, but the full kind of disclosure of those grounds, I believe, are on the government website for people
Absolutely.
to have a look
You can
on
download them.
online,
Yeah.
or send us a message, and we'd be more than happy to share those with yourself and any updates that they've got. But I don't believe there's going to be any further updates at all. I can't
Unlikely on the
imagine.
grounds. No, not unlikely on the grounds. As I say, it's just a case of understanding which ones are mandatory, which ones are discretionary, and which ones best suit the need for securing possession, and not to actively issue a grounds that just to get you the quickest possession.
Yeah.
Because that does come with a £7,000 fine. So it's making sure the right ground is used for the right level of possession,
which we'll be talking about later.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us for this episode. Please join us in the next one, in which we will be talking about the changes to rent reviews and how you can carry those out. Thanks again, Paul, for the information. Please do like and subscribe at home, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Cheers. Bye-bye.